Question: what is scary work? How do you define scary work? Okay, this is the way I define it. Usually it deals with other people. Sometimes it deals with projects, writing a book, doing a podcast, being on a show. Phil, who's here right now, didn't want to be here. He emailed me, even though we made an agreement, and said, I'm not sure I'm ready for this. Well, that's the point. We're going to expand the comfort zone, and he already has done it by being here. And he is not the same person he was even 10 minutes ago, because as we progress through this masterclass, he is getting more and more courageous because he has support. He has support from a fellow countryman, actually 2 of them, because Leo Fernandez is my production manager. There's 3 Brazilians against 1. I'm the foreigner here, all right? So don't look as if I'm the masterclass teacher. I'm the foreigner. They have the majority on me. Now, answers. Scary work is calling celebrities. Scary work is connecting with them online or offline. Scary work is walking up to someone and saying, can I have your signature? Right? And they're very well known. Scary work is requesting something from a celebrity. Now, the reason I put celebrity, because it fit on the card, a celeb, right? A celeb is anyone, a thought leader, or it could be a politician, it could be an athlete, anyone who has higher status than you do. Okay? Now, scary work can also be writing a book or giving a speech, but usually it's scary in my world. Now, this is my psychology, so it may not be yours. It's scary because you're afraid of looking bad. You're afraid of being embarrassed. You're afraid of your reputation faltering, like going down. Then the next question, we know what is scary work, right? That's the head. How about the heart? Why is scary work scary? Think about it. Why is scary work scary? I'll just tell you the same reason why people fear public speaking more than they fear death. Fear of looking bad in public. When you look bad in public, it's more scary than looking bad in front of your parents if they're still living, or your kids if they're still living. You should be more scared looking bad in front of your family than public. But human beings aren't wired that way. At least I'm not. For some reason, I am scared. And when I say scared, I mean, I just avoid it. That's what scary looks like to me. So when I say I'm not scared of that, the word itself will propel me to do it. I've used the word very intentionally for that. So imagine in your final breath, the inhale and the exhale of your final breath, and you look back and you have 2 regrets. Now, I just lost a very dear friend. And he passed on. He's still here, but his body is not here. And he passed on at 3:15 in the morning, 3:15 a.m. And he passed peacefully. He was suffering. And there's the final breath, the inhale and the exhale. Now, my friend was a great leader. He ran a great company, and I'm not going to mention his name. But most people have regrets. I asked my friend while he was still able to talk, okay, what's your regret? And he didn't answer the same thing that hospice workers, those are people taking care of people who are not doing well, usually when they're aging or dying. Hospice workers have asked people who are in their final days, what are your deepest regrets? Sometimes the people just share it with them. My friend didn't give the 2 most common answers. There's 5 answers that comes about, but 2 that are very common. My friend says, do more for others than you do for yourself. Because once you've done everything for yourself, and he made a lot of money, he built a multi-million-dollar company, 10-figure company, right? He said, when you're doing it for yourself, what gives you the satisfaction is giving back to others. But if you give back to others, like tithing to them and giving to them while you're giving to yourself, which he did, he just wanted to do more of it, he says, you'll be happier. You'll be happier. So the 2 things that people complain about in their final days is, I wish I didn't do something. I wish I didn't say that to my child. Or I wish I didn't do that thing that got me in jail. Or I wish I didn't abused myself with an addiction, whatever. It's something that they did. But that regret doesn't even come close to the second regret, which is the big one. And those are the things they didn't do. And that's why we're here. My friend, we're here because I don't want you to have that regret. I can't take control of things you did. If you're a student of mine, maybe I can assist you, but I can influence you ethically so that you do things and you don't have the regret of wishing you had done them, things that you didn't do, such as write a book, such as build a house with 5 cars and 3 dogs, such as having children, such as buying your mother a new home and your brother a new home. We're going to hear more about that later, but I don't like that regret, and that's why I do what I do. So what's a proven tactic that can eliminate the fear of scary work? There's not only the scary work, but there's the fear of scary work. What could possibly happen? Well, it's so easy. In fact, it's so easy I can't even charge for it. I have to talk for 20 minutes just to build it up because it's so easy. Actually, that's a lie. It is not easy. It's simple. It's simple, but it's not easy. But it is easy to do. And the answer is scary work action cards. Now, what's a scary work action card? I'm going to show you mine right now. My scary work action card for yesterday, and I haven't done it yet. Is this 9-word email. Now, look where I put it. This is the world. See, this is the world. And this cost me, I think it was given to me, maybe $2. You can get it on Amazon, but it has a clip. And I put it right where I can see it. My kids can see it when they're over. My partner, Sandra Bravo, when she is over, she lives in Australia, Gold Coast, but when she's over, she can see it. Anyone who comes over can see it, right? My dog, Minnie, can see it. She can't read it yet, but she can see it. I'm teaching her. And I can see it because I want to walk past it and I want it to bother me because here's what I want to do. I want this to happen. I want it to go away. Well, when does it go away? Now, I have no right for the 9-word email to go away. What's the 9-word email? It's a contest I'm entering in a mastermind that I pay $25,000 a year for. And the 9-word email, you can look it up on Google, was invented by Dean Jackson, very close friend of mine of over 15 years. And he and Joe Polish have a podcast called I Love Marketing. Joe Polish runs the Genius Network Mastermind. And together at one of the mastermind events, we go back 3 times a year. There's a big event and there's 2 smaller events that we go to. $25,000, that's it. Why? Because of the relationships. I'm in another one that's $30,000. $55,000 a year, just mastermind. And what he decided to do, Joe and Dean, who invented the 9-word email concept, is have a contest of all the top people in that room and all of Genius Network, over probably 200-300 people. Some people pay $100,000. It's called Genius X. Okay, so these are top people. So entering a contest and giving a 2-minute video and your results from everything you did in the 6 weeks prior on how your 9-word email did. Well, I did 9-word email for Jack Canfield. I did it for myself. I did it for others. I did it for my high-end clients. And a 9-word email is nothing more than sending an email without a link that said, are you still thinking about coming to Guerrilla Business Intensive? Are you still thinking about joining us for Guerrilla Business Online? Now, these are courses I have. Guerrilla Business Intensive is run by Leandro, who is the other gentleman who's in England currently, but it'll be in Brazil, July 2018 for 2018, depending on when you're reading this, listening to this, or watching this. And the reason I'm scared to enter the contest is not because I'm scared of video. The reason I'm scared is I'm intimidated because there are a lot of people smarter than me in that room that are entering it, and I don't want to lose. Because the only thing worse than not winning is losing. I hate losing more than I love winning, which is a good trait to have, but it's preventing me from doing this video, 2 minutes, and just giving the results because I think it's not going to be good enough. So I'm scared and I'm admitting it. So now it's less scary. So I'm serving myself. So thank you for watching, listening, or reading. But more importantly, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous fear because I'm not going to show you, but on the back of that card, I have the reason why I'm scared, which is my unsupported belief. That's really all you have to do. Now, let me show you another one. Now, here I have 90 days in my hand. I have 90 days of scary work cards. I call them scare cards, right? And, you know, they're in different colors. I like to get creative. It takes me about a minute to write them. I do it at night before I go to bed. My unconscious mind lets that marinate. I focus on it. I wake up and I go, am I going to do it today? And then some days go by. Now, in my hands, I don't have 90 cards. I may have 30. Why? Because I don't do it every day. The days slip by and I don't do it every day. So I should have 90 cards in my hand, but I don't. Why? Because I don't do it every day, but I do keep the cards. Now, why do I keep the cards? And there are multiple colors. Is because when I go back and I see this one, this man is a good friend. I'm holding in my hand a name that says Roland Frasier. He runs the War Room, which is a $30,000 mastermind that 2 other good friends run with him, Perry Belcher and Ryan Dice of Digital Marketer. And there's another gentleman who's a president of the company currently, Richard Lindler, very smart people. And the people in the War Room are super smart. Well, Roland's a good friend of mine. I have a mastermind that I run at Wizard Academy with my marketing mentor, Roy Williams. And the reason I was afraid, now I had this up one day. So this looked like this. I had Roland's card up and I was afraid to reach out to him. It looked like this, but it's off the cliff because I did it. I reached out to him because I want him to be the keynote speaker for free at my mastermind. Now I'm going to fly him first class. I'm going to feed him and he's going to be doing lodging, but this man makes millions and millions of dollars. And I didn't want to feel like I'm being pushy to a dear friend of mine. And usually Roland is the smartest person in the room. You may not know him, but that was one of the scary things that I've done. And then another scary thing is putting up my Zero Limits Mastery in my Kajabi account. Now, this is a joint venture I'm doing with Joe Vitale. Why? Because I don't know if it's good enough yet. We haven't launched it. And I have, oh my gosh. And when I look on the back to see the reasons why I was scared, when I look back like 30 days, I go, what was I thinking? But you know what this stack of index cards represents, my friend? It represents an expanded comfort zone. My comfort zone is expanded from where it was 30 days ago. It's expanded from where it was yesterday. So here are the steps. Pay attention. Step 1 is identify a task that scares you. Just identify it. You probably have 6 or 7. It'll probably take more time to decide between all the scary tasks that are in your mind or in your heart than to actually write something down. Usually, to me, it's not a task, it's a person. It's not a project, it's a person. Sometimes it's a project. For me, 20% of the time it's a project, like the Zero Limits Mastery. Isn't that a great name, by the way? Zero Limits Mastery, meaning that your potential has 0 limits. It's with Joe Vitale, and of course, one of my guests knows Joe Vitale because he was in the movie The Secret, which inspired my friend and now my student. He wasn't scared to pay $100,000 and commit. US dollars, not Brazilian reais, or reais if you're in Rio de Janeiro. I know something about Brazil after 3 years. So it's usually, for me, a person. Now, this is one person who never gets scared. This is Minnie. I'm holding in my hand, right? You don't get scared. But she does get scared if she does something in the house she's not supposed to do, which she hasn't done in a long time. And I think you all know what that is. Now, here's the important thing. For me, it's 20% projects, 20% people. You're either scared of a project or a person, you know, and I put them in 2 categories. A task is a project and a person is a person. So I usually write down the person's name, like I put Roland down, or I put Luke down, or Bill, or whoever. And as a result, I am going to do everything in my power to follow through and reaching out to them and make the request. But most importantly, I want to write it down so it's a declaration. It's not a private affirmation. I want to write the scary project or person right on the front of the card, just like this, okay? And that's what I show to the public. I don't show the back. I write the back in pencil so people can't read it. That's my business. That's private. So I write briefly on the front of the card what the scary project or person is. That scares me. They're not, I mean, they would think it's crazy. By the way, when I reached out to Roland, within 10 minutes, he emailed me back. And you know what he told me? I would be honored. You know, now he's a dear friend, but do you think that when I look on the back of why I thought, you know, why my reason of why I'm scared, my unsupported belief, right? No, it's unsupported, but I have to get past the belief for my comfort zone to be expanded. The moment, now, once I reached out to him, my comfort zone expanded. Now, if you're watching, it's expanding like about an inch or a few centimeters. That's when I'm doing the action. That's emotion causes emotion, right? But the moment Roland wrote back to me, and I hope he watches this because he knows this story. The moment he said it would be an honor, it expanded even more. It expanded even more. Why? Because I had negative feedback to my unsupported belief, which was crazy. And are going to be with the smartest person I know, Roland Frasier. Now, so step 3, write why it's scary on the back. That's very important because on the front is your head, the what. On the back of this scary work card is the why. That's your heart. So what's left? There's the head, there's the heart. What's left? Your hands. Now you got to do it. So for me, I typed an email. I sent it out. Now imagine if he didn't write back, I'd go, oh, he's trying to avoid me or whatever. Stupid stuff. This guy's a dear friend of mine. He hired me to sell the war room to other people at a big event with 6,000 people.